Hello, Trish here from Fat Lady Crochet. Welcome, and today we're going to make these adorable little Easter eggy chicks, and they're so quick and easy, and I think you're going to enjoy it because I know I sure did enjoy it. So what you're going to need is some scrap yarn. So you're going to need scrap yarn in pastel colors, whichever colors you want for the egg part. You'll need a nice light yellow for the chick, some black, and some orange. Then you'll need your crochet hook, your G hook, your size 4 hook. You'll need a tapestry needle, some scissors, and some fiberfill and a stitch marker if you use it. I don't use one, so there you go. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to get our yarn onto our hook. And the way that I do it is really very basic. So what I do is I just take my yarn and I tie it onto my hook. And I've seen you guys do some pretty fancy things, so I just do it the hillbilly way, I guess. All right, so to begin, you can either, there's a few different ways you can do it. You can either do a magic circle. You can chain 5 and join with a slip stitch in the first stitch to make a ring. Or you can do what I'm going to do here. And what I'm going to do is chain 2. And then into that first chain, I'm going to single crochet 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then for round 2, we're just going to increase a round. So we're going to go from 9 stitches to 18 stitches. So let's go ahead and do that. If I can get it in there. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 and 18. I'm just going to double check and make sure that I have 18 stitches. Sometimes I miss 1 or 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, I'm going to count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, I just miscounted. So we've got 18 on there. Now what we're going to do is change colors. So to do that, what you want to do is you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch and draw up a loop. So now you have 2 loops on there. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut that. And now we're going to bring on color 2. So to do that, I'm just going to make a loop like this, and I'm going to pull up this loop to complete this single crochet here. So just like this. And that's that. So now all we're going to do is single crochet into each stitch around. So there's 18 stitches. And yeah, and then when we get to the end of this round, we're going to change color again. And you know, you don't have to change color. Maybe you want to do a bunch of solid colors. Like you can do anything you like. I am planning on doing a dozen of these little guys to do as a giveaway actually. So if you're not following me on Facebook or Instagram, you might want to, because I'm going to give away a dozen of these little guys. But you'll have to watch, and maybe by the time you see this, that giveaway will be finished. So, but anyways, here we go. So now I'm at the end of this round. I'm going to change color. So I'm just going to insert again, draw up a loop. So I've got these 2 on here, these 2 loops on here, and I'm going to bring in my next color. I think I will do blue. So I'm just going to draw up this last loop to complete that single crochet. And now for this one, we're going to do 2 rounds in the blue. Again, again, just 18 single crochets. This is such a quick and easy little project. These would be so cute for hiding, actually. You could hide these, you know, along with those delicious chocolate eggs. You could even hide them around town or around your neighborhood for kids to find. So the thing about these guys is that there aren't any small pieces that could come off. And so just do remember that, you know, like when you're making toys, you want to make sure that you're not using buttons if they're going to be going to little people. You want to be embroidering your eyes on. I wouldn't even recommend safety eyes. Like I don't use safety eyes. I know a lot of people do. A lot of you guys really like them. My experience with safety eyes just hasn't been good, and they have popped out. So maybe I've just had the wrong kind of safety eyes, and I haven't actually tried them in probably, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years. So maybe they're better. Maybe there's a better kind. I'm not sure, but I just haven't experienced, you know, good things with safety eyes. So if I do use buttons, I use ones where I can really use like a nice strong thick thread to sew them on, thread or yarn. Okay, here we are. We're going to change color again. So I've inserted into that last stitch on that round. I'm going to insert it, drop a loop, give her a little trimmeroo, and I think we'll bring in purple. So this is color 1, 2, 3. This is color 4. So I'm going to just, you know how to do that, complete that. I'm going to single crochet around. And this would be round, what is this, round 6, I think. Yeah, this is round 6. So here we go. And yeah, so anyways, what I was saying is if you're going to be giving things like this away to little people, just make sure you embroider the eyes just to make them safer. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I could use another color on here, but I think I'm going to go back to pink. And this will be the last color change that I do for the egg. So I'll just do that. And now what I'm going to do is just single crochet around again. And when we get to the end of this round, we're going to do something a little different. And these little guys are going to get in my way. So I'm just going to pop them in, get them out of the way. So I'm going to, I'm going to do that giveaway. But what I also want to do is just do some plain eggs with chicks. So just have a white egg with a little yellow chick coming out. I think that'll be so cute too. This is a great project actually if you're pretty new to amigurumi. It's quick, it's fairly easy, and it's small. And I really find when people are starting out with amigurumi, it can be kind of daunting. So this is a nice, easy project. Okay, here we go. So I'm just gonna single crochet into that last one. Now, for this round, this is going to be round 8 of the egg. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna single crochet around, but in the front loops only. So you see how there's like these little V's here, hey? So there's 2 loops there. That's normally what we crochet through, is both loops there. But what we're gonna do is we're going to just single crochet into these front loops, just this loop. So this is called single crochet front loop only. So if you're new, instead of going through both of those loops, you're just going to go through the one. All right, so we'll do that again. So we're just going to go through that front loop. Okay, you see that back loop still back there? And we're just going to go ahead and single crochet front loop only all the way around this round. And then when we get to the end, we are going to, I'm just going to slip stitch into that last one. I'm not going to do a full single crochet. I'm just going to slip stitch. Then I'm going to pull up my loop to be, I don't know, maybe like 6 inches. I know it's overkill, but you always want to have too much at the end and rather than too little. Okay, so here's the egg part. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make the chick. So you'll see on these, they have a little bit of a lip. You see that? So it's like the little chick is actually inside the egg. And that's what we just created with that front loop only. So I'll show you what I mean. Now, I find it easier to just sort of bend it down, fold it over and bend it down. And what we're going to do is, you see here are the back loops from that previous round. So we just did front loop only. Now we're going to work in the back loop only. So to do that, we are going to insert our hook into that first stitch, into that first back loop only. And then we're going to use our light yellow. This is the chick part that we're going to do now. So we're going to slip stitch in. Okay, drop a loop, and I'm just going to get that in there. Okay, so that's now what we're going to do. I'm going to just single crochet in the same loop there, back loop only. Now, just a minute here, because it's pulling that first loop. So let me just tighten that up just 1 second before I zoom in and show you kind of what we're doing. So you see how it's kind of loosened it up. I'm just going to pull that nice and tight somewhere here. There we go. All these threads and they're just getting in the way. There we go. So that's just tightening it up. Okay, pop those in. All right, so here again, now I'm going to show you we're doing the back loops inside here. You see, I'm just folding it down so you can kind of see those back loops, these ones right here. So that's where we're single crocheting. So it's going to be just 18 of those in the back loop only. Single crochet, back loop only, all the way around. So when we're looking at the pattern, now you can find, I'm going to put the pattern for free on my Ravelry site. So you'll be able to download it for free if you prefer written instructions, which I do. I'm better with written instructions than following a video. But when you see the written instructions, you'll see that the egg has 8 rows. I think, yeah, 8 rows. And then the chick goes into round 8 again. I think it's round 8. Yeah, it'll be round 8 for the chick as well. So it's kind of like you have 2 round 8s, basically. And this is a bit fiddly, so, you know, just take your time. See this tail here? We're just going to keep him out. Hope the other one's in, but that guy can stay out. When we're all finished, we're going to weave him in. Now, sometimes I make a little bit of a mistake here, and I get one too many or one too few stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this into the next stitch. Now I'm working in both loops again. For the next round, I'm just working in both loops, and I just want to make sure that I've got 18 on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, I have 19. So I'm not really sure how that happened, but for this round, we do only want 18 stitches on it. This would be round 9. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a decrease anywhere on here because I just need to make sure that I've got 18 stitches on here. Now that's going to bother some of you. Some of you are going to be like, no, you have to go back and find out where you got that extra stitch. And I can tell you that I got the extra stitch when we inserted the yellow. I'm not exactly sure how or where, but that's where the extra stitch would be. So if it really bugs you, then definitely go back. But this is a project where you're probably just not going to notice anything like that. Okay, so I'm back around here. So for the next round, for round, what round is this? Let's see, this is round 10. We're going to decrease now. We're going to take it from 18 stitches down to 15. So we'll go single, single, single. What are we doing? Single, 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 decrease. Yeah, I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So here we go. 1, single, 2, 3, 4, and here's our decrease, 5. So we're just decreasing this round by 3 altogether. So we'll do that again. Single, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's the decrease, and that's stitch 10. And let's do that one more time. So single, 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 and last decrease. Okay, for the next round, we're going to decrease again, but we're going to go 3 singles followed by a decrease. So single, single, single. Here's our decrease. So 1, 2, 3, decrease. That's stitch 4, single, 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 and decrease. This is stitch 8. Single, 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 and decrease, and that's stitch 9. Stitch 12. And for our last one, we're just going to decrease it again by 3, taking it down to 9 stitches. So we will go single, single, decrease, single, single, decrease, and single, single, decrease until we have 9 stitches. And a little bit, I just want to make sure, I need to see where I'm at here, guys. Let me just do a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I've decreased 1 too many somewhere. Again, I'm not going to worry about it because it's just not going to make too much of a difference. So again, I know guys, like some of you are going to be really bothered by that. So sorry. If you want to go and look at the pattern will tell you exactly what to do. But hopefully, you know, you're not going to really notice too much of a difference. Now it's here where we're going to stuff it. So we want to stuff it nice and firmly, but not so it shows through the stitches. You also want to make sure you're not just jamming gobs and gobs of fiber fill in, because you want it to be, you need to shape it as you go. You don't want it to be lumpy and bumpy. So we'll start with some small pieces here. And you'll see how I'm sort of supporting it with my hand. That's what you want to do when you're stuffing amigurumi. People have, you know, they don't know that, right? They don't know that you have to stuff it and shape it as you go. So, all right, here we go. And then as we're going, what I'm trying to do is like kind of push that lip up a little bit. Okay, turning into a nice little egg shape. And one thing I really like about these is that they're so little, like they're actual egg sized. And I don't know, I just like little crochet. Okay, that's probably good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just single crochet around the top. But I'm going to be really careful here because I don't want to catch that fiber fill in my stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of poke it down with my finger as I go and really try to avoid it, because it doesn't matter too much if you're using lighter colors, but if you're using dark colors, it really shows up. Like I think that you can get black fiber fill, maybe, I'm not sure. I've never seen it here in Canada, but I think I've heard other crocheters talk about it, which would be so handy to have, you know, when you're doing a project that's with black yarn. But anyways, so now we're going to just fasten this off. I'm going to leave 9 inches for that. Then grab my tapestry needle and we're going to just close that top up there. So what you're going to do is you're going to just gather the front loops of that last round with your tapestry needle. Gather those around and pull it gently to close. And then I'm just going to tie a knot and hide this tail. Now, the reason why you want to have such a long tail at the end is because you want to weave it in and out a few times. If you have a short tail, what happens is that it works its way out and then it ends up sticking out, and there's no way to keep it in unless, I mean, you could probably use glue, but then you're going to have like a hard sort of lump there. So just that, I find that this works really well. I just weave it in and out a few times. And now I can cut it. And let's get rid of this tail as well. I'm just going to poke that in and weave it in and out a few times. You'll see that I'm poking it into the pink down here again because it won't show up. Doesn't matter, you know, if I poke it into the pink down here rather than one of these colors, because then you might see it. And that should do. And now I'm just going to shape it a little bit. I'm going to use my needle to sort of draw the fiber fill out to where I want it. And then we're going to add the little face. Right. All right, so let's do that. Let's get our little face on. So what I'm going to do for my face is I like to use my pointy tapestry needle rather than my blunt one. I find that it makes it easier for me to get the stitches exactly where I want them, rather than like with my blunt one, the needle kind of goes in between the stitches, whereas with my pointy one, I can get it more exact. So I'm looking here, this is the back. So I want to put my face on here. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to poke it through one of these, it's like sort of like, it's not a big gap, but it's a little bit of a gap between the stitches. So I'm just going to poke it through, and then I'm going to, you can see where it's coming through down here. And I'm going to just do 2 straight stitches in an upside down V. Now, I will tell you, take your time on this, and if you have to redo it, do it. The face is probably the most important thing in an amigurumi. It's the thing that people see first, right? So now I'm going to leave about 2 stitches between my eyes. Okay, there's my first little eye. I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. I'm just doing an upside down V. Okay, and then I'm going to just poke it back to the same one over here. And make sure that I like where they are, that they're even enough, they're placed properly. Yeah, looks good. And then I'm going to tie this off. And I usually do 3 knots, and I just find that they hold better. And I'm going to just get this out of the way, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I just use my blunt needle, then it's not snagging on anything inside. And I'm just going to pop it down as far as I can. I'm going to pop it down as far as I can away from here, because remember, we want to have a long tail so it doesn't work its way out and have, you know, then you have little threads sticking out there. That, and then pull this through, make sure that it looks good back here. Yep. And we can trim this, and now we just are going to do our beak. And again, I'm going to use my pointy tapestry needle for that. Just want to poke this in here. There we go. And I'm going to grab some yarn here. And we're just going to make a little beak in an upside down triangle, so point side down. Same sort of thing, just poke it in from the back. We're going to make sure that it's nice and even between the eyes. And we'll just do our little triangle. One more straight stitch, and then poke back to the original stitch there. Yeah, looks good. And we shall do our 3 knots. And get rid of that knot. We'll just hide that. And then we are finished. Oh, baby. There we go, guys. Our little egg is done. Our happy little Easter chick. Nice and easy. I hope you enjoyed that. Please send me pictures. I love to see pictures of the work that you guys do using my patterns. If you don't already, find me on Facebook and Instagram. And sometimes I have, you know, pattern links or free patterns, but I'm always posting pictures of the work that I'm doing. So yes, thank you again. And we'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.